Leo and Emma's Lantern Adventure. In a small village surrounded by rolling green hills lived a boy named Leo and his best friend, Emma. They loved to spend their afternoons exploring the woods that bordered their village. These woods were full of tall, whispering trees, clear streams, and secret paths. It was a place where they could let their imaginations run wild. One golden afternoon, Leo and Emma decided to visit their favorite spot in the woods, an old, big tree with branches that reached out like arms, offering shade and a place to rest. They called it the Story Tree because it felt like the perfect place to make up stories, to dream, and to imagine. As they settled under the tree, Leo noticed something strange. Hanging from one of the branches was a small lantern. It wasn't like any lantern they had seen before. It was made of glass that shimmered in the sunlight, and inside it, a soft glow flickered. "Look at that," Leo said, pointing up, his voice filled with curiosity. Emma's eyes widened. "Who do you think left it here?" she asked, her voice soft with wonder. Leo shook his head. "I don't know, but I think we should find out." He stood on his tiptoes, reaching for the lantern, and with a careful tug, he brought it down. The lantern felt warm in his hands, almost like it was alive. Leo looked at Emma, and she nodded, her eyes full of excitement. Together, they decided to follow where the light seemed to lead them. They walked deeper into the woods, the trees growing taller, and the air feeling cooler. The light inside the lantern flickered gently, like it was guiding them along. Emma held Leo's hand, her heart pounding with a mix of excitement and nervousness. She trusted Leo, and she trusted the woods, even though they were going somewhere they'd never been before. Soon, they came to a clearing. In the middle of the clearing was a pond, its surface smooth like a mirror, reflecting the sky above. The lantern's glow grew brighter, and it cast a warm golden light across the clearing. Emma gasped. "It's beautiful," she whispered. Leo nodded, his eyes wide as he took in the sight. He noticed something else too. Across the pond, on the other side, there was a small figure. It was a girl about their age, sitting by the edge of the pond, her feet dipping into the water. She looked up as they approached, her face breaking into a gentle smile. "Hello," she called, her voice as soft as the breeze. Emma and Leo exchanged a glance before stepping closer. "Hi," Emma replied. "Is this your lantern?" The girl nodded, her smile growing. "It is. My name is Mira. I was hoping someone like you would find it." Leo frowned slightly, puzzled. "Someone like us?" Mira nodded again. "Someone who loves the woods, who isn't afraid to explore." She stood up, brushing her hands on her dress. "I have something to show you." Emma and Leo followed Mira along the edge of the pond, where they came to a narrow path that led through the trees. The lantern's light flickered, casting gentle shadows around them as they walked. The path twisted and turned until they arrived at a grove where the trees were shorter and the ground was covered in soft moss. In the center of the grove was a circle of stones, and in the middle of the circle was a small sapling. Its leaves were a bright, fresh green, and they shimmered like they were covered in morning dew. "This is my favorite place," Mira said quietly. "It's a special tree. My family has been taking care of it for generations, but now I need help." Emma stepped closer, her eyes wide. "What kind of help?" Mira smiled, but there was something sad in her eyes. "This tree needs people who care about the forest to help it grow. It needs laughter, stories, and friends. That's why I brought you here. I thought maybe you would help me take care of it." Leo looked at Emma, and she looked back at him. They both knew the answer without having to say it. They nodded together, their faces lighting up with smiles. "Of course we'll help," Leo said. "We love the forest." Mira's smile returned, this time brighter. She handed the lantern back to Leo. "This lantern will help you find your way here whenever you want to visit. The tree grows best when it's surrounded by kindness and joy." Emma's heart swelled with happiness. She took Leo's hand and looked at Mira. "We promise to take care of it," she said. "We'll come back every day." Mira nodded, her eyes shimmering. "Thank you. I know the tree will be happy with you two looking after it." They spent the rest of the afternoon in the grove, telling stories, laughing, and making plans for all the things they would do to help the tree grow strong. They imagined building a bench nearby, planting flowers, and bringing their friends to share in the magic of the grove. As the sun began to set, Mira walked them back to the edge of the clearing. She waved goodbye, her silhouette glowing softly in the fading light. Leo and Emma watched as she disappeared into the woods, her presence as gentle as the breeze. With the lantern in hand, Leo and Emma made their way back home, the path now familiar and comforting. The woods seemed to welcome them, the leaves whispering above as if they were proud of the promise the two friends had made. When they reached the edge of the village, Emma turned to Leo, her eyes shining. "This was the best adventure yet," she said. Leo smiled, nodding in agreement. "And it's only the beginning," he said. He held up the lantern, the light glowing warmly. "We have a lot of work to do." Emma grinned. "I can't wait." As they walked back home, they felt a sense of calm and wonder, knowing that they had found something special. Not a treasure of gold or jewels, but something far more precious. A promise, a friendship, and a new place that felt like it was theirs. And as they drifted off to sleep that night, both Leo and Emma dreamed of the grove, the shimmering leaves of the sapling, and the adventures that still awaited them, filled with laughter, kindness, and the quiet magic of caring for something that truly mattered.